This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. News is also brought to you by Desert View Hospital. You can count on us.
Welcome to News 25 here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. Today is Wednesday, February 8th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Well, President Joe Biden held the State of the Union address. He spoke about education, climate change, border control, national and international affairs, healthcare, inflation, the supply chain issues, bipartisan issues, unity, and similar. These words were similar to what we've recently been hearing from our own Nevada Governor, Joe Lombardo.
But here at home, inflation is coming down. Here at home, gas prices are down $1.50 from their peak. Food inflation is coming down, not fast enough, but coming down. Inflation has fallen every month for the last 6 months, while take-home pay has gone up. Additionally, over the last 2 years, a record 10 million Americans applied to start new businesses. 10 million. And by the way, every time someone starts a small business is an act of hope. Standing here last year, I shared with you a story of American genius and possibilities. Semiconductors, small computer chips the size of a fingerprint that power everything, from cell phones to automobiles and so much more. These chips were invented in America. Let's get that straight. They were invented in America. We used to make 40% of the world's chips. In the last several decades, we lost our edge. We're down to only producing 10%. We all saw what happened during the pandemic when chip factories shut down overseas. Today's automobiles need 3,000 chips, each of those automobiles. But American automobiles couldn't make enough cars because there weren't enough chips. Car prices went up, people got laid off, so did everything from refrigerators to cell phones. We can never let that happen again. That's why we came together to pass the Bipartisan Chips and Science Act. I know I've been criticized for saying this, but I'm not changing my view. We're going to make sure the supply chain for America begins in America. Tonight, I'm announcing new standards that require all construction materials used in federal infrastructure projects to be made in America. Made in America. I mean it. Lumber, glass, drywall, fiber optic cable. And on my watch, American roads, bridges, and American highways are going to be made with American products as well. Folks, my economic plan is about investing in places and people that have been forgotten. So many of you listening to me tonight, I know you feel it. So many of you felt like you've just simply been forgotten. Too many of you lay in bed at night like my dad did, staring at the ceiling, wondering what in God's name happens if your spouse gets cancer, or your child gets deadly ill, or something happens to you. What are you going to have? You have money to pay for those medical bills? Or are you going to have to sell the house or try to get a second mortgage on it? I get it. I get it. With the Inflation Reduction Act that I signed into law, we're taking on powerful interests to bring health care costs down so you can sleep better at night with more security. You know, we pay more for prescription drugs than any nation in the world. Let me say it again. We pay more for prescription drugs than any major nation on earth. It costs the drug companies roughly $10 a vial to make that insulin. Packaging and all, you may get up to $13. But Big Pharma has been unfairly charging people hundreds of dollars, $400 to $500 a month, making record profits. Not anymore. Not anymore.
Well, one of the items on the Board of County Commissioners' agenda was to hold a special election regarding the 5-cent tax that they are looking on at for diesel fuel. And that is for diesel fuel trucks that are driving on our roadways here in Nye County, which cause the most of the damage and the repairs here in Nye County on our roadways. They are looking at to put this up for the voters to vote on in a special election. They have decided instead not to hold a special election, but instead to put it on the general election ballot. Here's the discussion.
The special election to vote on a 5-cent diesel fuel tax has been postponed. Instead, the Nye County Commissioners will send the ballot question to the 2024 general election.
I was able to learn that a special election like this needs to proceed no different than any other general election. So as you will see in the attachment that is a special election timeline diesel tax, it is approximately 175-day process from the time you say go to the time we implement that. That would put a special election, if you were to approve it today, on Tuesday, August 1st. The tax would then go into effect on the first of the second month following the special election. It is estimated that this would bring in around $425,000 a year. If you look at the exhibit that shows the estimated cost of the special election, because there is no reimbursement from the state, we would fully incur all the costs associated with a special election that would have all the same elements of the general election. We have to have mail-in ballots. We have to have early voting. We have to have all of our polling locations open. And so everything that we do in a general election is the same thing we need to do here. So that would entail not just the $130,000 cost, but also the hidden costs of the time associated with the clerk's office to conduct this election.
So I think if you amended the motion to have it put on the next general election, I think that the agenda item gives you the flexibility to do that.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion to direct the Nye County clerk and staff to proceed with a general election to levy an additional tax on special fuel consisting of diesel fuel in the amount of 5 cents per gallon.
I think it just to simply direct that this question be placed on the next general election ballot.
Second. Okay, I have a motion on the floor and a second. There's no further discussion by the commission. I would like to call for the vote, please.
Aye.
Aye. DeBoer is aye.
Hoskowitz, aye.
Nay.
It's okay. I have passes 4-0. 4-1, 1 nay, Commissioner Cox.
And if you would like to see the White House's full State of the Union address by our president, you can go to KPVM's Facebook page. News 25 will return in just a moment.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by John Air. For all your heating and air conditioning needs, call 775-751-2372.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, just a few years ago, the University of Nevada Cooperative Extension was struggling, but now they're thriving. Misha Allen tells us about what they are doing in Tonopah, including opening a Boys and Girls Club.
The University of Reno Extension in Nye County is now thriving after hanging on by a thread during the pandemic. Northern Nye County Extension educator Misha Allen gave an update on some very special programs coming to Tonopah, including the Boys and Girls Club.
Thank you so much. And this is Misha back in the Northern
part of the county here to report on our efforts. I do have some really exciting, amazing news, which is the Boys and Girls Club is coming to Tonopah. This is a huge, huge deal for our community. This will be the first time that before and after school care will be offered to our elementary age kids. They are also going to be offering out of school, the Friday out of school, and summer programming as well. So this is year-round care for and programming for our elementary school kids. It will be run out of the Tonopah Elementary School, and they do have plans to incorporate a lunch or a meal program, a dinner program as well. They do have their open house, which is their kickoff February 17th. I do encourage the community to come out and check it out. They're offering free memberships, food, prizes, and a bounce house. So it's going to be a lot of fun for the families. Also continuing on supporting the Child Development Associate program, which is a professional program for anyone who's interested in getting certified for early childhood education. And then our babysitting program we launched in December for our teenagers. And you can see here they're practicing their CPR and first aid techniques. This was a small soft launch, trying it with 3 kids. Our hope is that this is a kind of a pipeline to build them up to that professional CDA, but really excited to be able to have this be our start, and you'll see it again probably at the end of spring, early summer. Continuing to address those critical medical needs up here. Really, really excited to be a part of the multi-agency effort to bring remote area medical up here to Tonopah. It's been there in Pahrump, and so we're really excited to have it here. We do need a lot of volunteers. It's a very large event, so really would encourage any businesses that are listening to please, if you could encourage some of your employees to come out and volunteer on either of those days, the 3rd or the 4th. We would really, really benefit from that. Come out as a team. And we're happy to be back on the Mama Van schedule. This took a lot of effort to get us back, and that'll be the 14th and the 16th. Both of these events are here in Tonopah.
Well, deputies locate a man who they say was in possession of drugs and several dangerous firearms while possibly under the influence.
On February 6th of this year, Nye County Sheriff deputies were dispatched to a home in Pahrump in reference to a report of trespassing. The reporting party advised officers via telephone that a tenant named Travis Murphy appeared to be under the influence and is a felon in possession of a firearm and also drugs. Deputies received 2 separate statements from independent witnesses, which allowed them to apply for and receive a telephonic search warrant for Travis's residence, approved by Justice of the Peace Ferrari. At 4:08 p.m., the search warrant for the residence was executed on the home. Upon deputies' arrival, officers report that they located the subject, Travis Murphy, within the residence, with a total of 4 firearms described as a Remington 308 sniper rifle, a .22 caliber rifle, a Savage Arms 12-gauge shotgun, and a Anderson AM-15 300 blackout rifle, and various ammunition in a package with a label Travis Murphy. Officers also state in the declaration of arrest that they located a dark-color sticky tar-like substance that tested presumptive positive for heroin. At that time, the suspect Murphy was then placed under arrest and is facing charges of owning, possessing a gun by a prohibited person and possession of drugs.
And police say that they arrested a male for going to the bathroom on the side of the road.
Several callers are shocked when driving through town to see a person exposing himself and defecating on the side of the road. On February 7th, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched to the area of Pahrump Valley Boulevard and East Street about a male defecating in public. Upon arrival, officers made contact with the male matching the description, who was identified as Anthony Winholtz. Deputies asked Winholtz why he thought people were calling about him. He answered he believed it was because he was pooping on the side of the road. NCSO dispatched report that they received 3 separate phone calls regarding this issue. All 3 callers say they witnessed the suspect expose his genitals while defecating. Winholtz was placed under arrest and transported to the Sheriff's Office Detention Center. Winholtz is facing charges of indecent obscene exposure.
And Las Vegas Realtors has reported that the median price of existing single-family homes sold in southern Nevada through its multiple listing service during January was $425,000. That's the same price as December and down 2.3% from $435,000 in January of 2022. It's also down from the all-time record price of $482,000 in May of 2022. The median price of local condos and townhomes sold in January was $255,000. That's up 4.9% from 1 year earlier, but down from the all-time record price of $285,000 in May. By the end of January of 2023, LVR reported 5,450 single-family homes listed for sale without any sort of offer. That's up 199.3% from the same time last year. Likewise, 1,233 condos and townhomes listed without any offers in January represent 282.9% jump from 1 year earlier. As for sales, LVR reported a total of 1,723 existing local homes, condos, and townhomes sold in January. Compared to January of 2022, sales were down 48.3% for homes and down 44% for condos and townhomes. A year ago, Southern Nevada was coming off of a record year for existing home sales with 50,010 homes, condos, and townhomes and other residential properties selling during 2021. That's the first year time LVR reported more than 50,000 local properties selling in a year. It topped the previous record set in 2011 by nearly 2,000 sales. By comparison, Las Vegas Realtors reported 35,584 total sales during 2022. A number of so-called distressed sales remains near historically low levels. LVR reported that short sales and foreclosures combined accounted for 0.8% of all existing local property sales in January. That compares to the same 0.8% of all sales 1 year ago, 1.2% 2 years ago, and 2.7% 3 years ago, 2.8% 4 years ago, and 4.3% 5 years ago. Stress is something we can all relate to, and it can impact us in different ways, not just mentally, but physically also. Psychiatrist Dr. Susan Albers with Cleveland Clinic explains.
Some stressors are daily stressors, things like your to-do list, going to the post office, conflicts with a boss. Other stresses are ongoing, more chronic stressors, things like financial issues, conflicts with family members. These ongoing issues can have lasting and profound impacts on your mental and physical health.
Dr. Albers says long-term stress can accelerate aging and cause inflammation in our bodies, making us more vulnerable to chronic diseases. Unchecked stress can also lead to anxiety and depression, as well as cause people to turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms like drugs and alcohol. To manage stress, Dr. Albers suggests to start by eating a healthy diet, exercising regularly, and getting enough sleep. Sticking to a daily routine or taking a few minutes to clean are other simple ways to keep your stress at bay. Dr. Albers also recommends people try practicing meditation, which can be as simple as taking some deep breaths. If stress starts to prevent you from doing everyday tasks, reach out for help.
It's important to consult a therapist or your primary care physician if you are experiencing high levels of stress and that stress is impacting your day-to-day routine. If you're having trouble getting to work or you have changes in your sleep patterns or your appetite, these are some indications that your stress level may be out of control.
Well, Dr. Albers notes some stress can be positive. For example, it can provide a boost of motivation to meet a report and more. So we will tell you more about that and, of course, more news right after this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, welcome back. We're going to go to Rory Rossell, who's going to talk to us about Valentine's Day and student elections.
Hey Trojans, it's Rory Rosso with your weekly student news report, and this week I would like to start it off by saying Valentine's Day is right around the corner. To celebrate this day of love, we have two events that are going on at school right now. NHS is hosting a Valentine's Day raffle, and in this raffle there will be 3 winners selected. The first will receive a big fluffy teddy bear, a mystery basket, and a $10 Visa gift card. The second will receive a mystery basket and a $5 gift card, and the third will receive the mystery basket. The tickets will be on sale today until the day of Valentine's Day, and the tickets are 1 ticket for $1, 10 tickets for $5. They will be sold at both lunches and at home games. Next up, we have our Student Council Valentine's Day grams. These will also be sold at both lunches. The prices of these grams are $1 for 1 gram, $2 for a gram and a rose, or $5 for a gram, rose, chocolate, and a teddy bear. It's small, but it still means something. Even though these gifts are not for your significant other, you can go and purchase them for yourself. Just remember that. So go and support your Trojan NHS and Student Council. Now, speaking of Student Council elections are coming right around the corner as well. And if you would like to be a part of your school's Student Council, you can go see Mr. Williams in room 214.
Thanks so much, Rory. All right, we're going to meet a black cat that is at Never Forgotten Animal Society that is available right now named Midnight.
Today's Save a Pet segment is made possible by Realty Executives in Action. Put the team at Realty Executives in action for you.
Hi everyone, I'm here with Midnight. This is a 2-year-old black male kitty. He is a larger cat. He probably weighs somewhere between, 10 to 12 pounds. He is a very loving, sweet man. He loves being in somebody's lap. He loves being held and cuddled. He is available here at Never Forgotten Animal Society at 3091 North David, off of Bella Vista in the north part of town, between Blagg and Leslie. Our phone number is area code 775-537-8674. He's available here at Never Forgotten Animal Society at 3091 North David, off of Bella Vista. And you're welcome to come on in and meet any of our animals that we have here. And this is Midnight, and he is a male, approximately 2 years old.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, taking a look outside on this beautiful day here in Pahrump at Mount Charleston. We're going to find out what's in store for our weather right after this break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios and worldwide on the local BTV app. The app you should absolutely get, so I can quit talking about it. Get the app. Get the app. It's a good one. Fernley saw 52 today, 53 out in Fallon. Carson City tried real hard at 49 along with Tonopah, but they got the Cool Spot Award winners, identical twin weather. Look at that. Goldfield saw 52, 65 out in beautiful Beatty, and can you believe 70 degrees in Amargosa? Probably the hottest day all year. I think it is so far. All right, 65 out in Las Vegas, and Death Valley, super pleasant, 76 degrees. Here in the Paradise of Pahrump, let's take a look at our current temperature, 60 degrees. We saw 66 just a little bit earlier. Nice day, actually probably the warmest day in Pahrump all year too. Northwesterly winds to 7 miles per hour as the sun rose this morning at 6:38 a.m. Setting like right now, well, 5:18 officially. We're heading down to low night of 40 degrees, but beautiful clear skies tonight. Good star watching. And as we head into the week, I prognosticate sunshine tomorrow. Look, behold, it is sunshine. Amazing. 64 degrees for the next couple days. We're heading down a little bit cooler on Saturday. Sunday looks like the winds kick up for Super Bowl Sunday. Temperatures return to trim at 64 degrees, but 14-mile-per-hour winds. No real talk of rain, but it's going to be a little bit choppy out there for the barbecue. Might want to cook some baked beans indoors. I'm guessing Sunday, beautiful. Monday, a beautiful day. Sunshine, 65 degrees. Best day all week. Looks like the winds are kicking up a vengeance on Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm not quite sure what kind of weather system that's bringing in, but we'll keep an eye on it and let you know. All right, back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
All right, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. From all of us here at KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio, have a great night, and we want to wish J.D. Saragoza a happy 50th.